So in case you missed it last week, Back for Blood went ahead and announced Children of the Worm releasing on August 30th, and there was a bunch of stuff included on this image here. I have a whole video talking about that, I don't know, probably last week. But let's talk about a few more of the new things that were released on Twitter since then. One of the things here is the bow. And what the bow says is it quickly fires for moderate damage, and then you can slowly draw it back for increased damage and accuracy. And if you take a peek up here, it seems like there's been a trend here of these new enemy threats also pretty much having the same weapons that we've seen posted here on Twitter. So there was, the bait jar that was posted probably a long time ago. Yeah, right here. And it looks like these dudes have the bait jar up in this top right-hand corner. And then we also have the bow here. And then if we scroll a little bit farther past the bow, another one we'll see here is the iron claws. So it seems like there's a lot of things lining up right here. And if you look in the bottom left-hand corner here, there's the lockjaw. And it looks like this guy might be holding the same exact weapon here. So pretty interesting that a lot of these are all kind of playing with each other. I can picture the bow being something really good for people that like hip firing. I mean, I know there's an option to go ahead and draw back and get more damage that way, but I can see people playing this with both directions, right? Somebody who's a really nimble, fast archer who has really good hip fire, but then also somebody who wants to go ahead and make more of those precision types of shots. I think the bow is going to be a lot of fun for a lot of people. And then we also had some new cards that were announced. We had Ultrasonic Wound Therapy, we had Suppressing Fire, and we had Belligerent. And the way Ultrasonic Wound Therapy works is you can activate your offensive slot to emit a pulse that heals teammates within 25 meters for 1 health every second for 7 seconds. Okay. And it costs 40 SMG ammo, and it disables your offensive slot. So, I mean, it's pretty spelled out what it does there. Basically, it's just a big AoE heal that you can do. And I'm pretty sure that this one has a cooldown of like a second-ish. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's about a second. And then this will allow you to keep pulsing out heals, and I'm pretty sure it's affected by healing efficiency. The other one we have here is Suppressing Fire. Damaging a Ridden with an LMG or a sniper has a 40% chance to slow Ridden near the target by 50% for 5 seconds. Which, I like that they're giving LMGs a little bit more love, because like the LMGs have kind of always had the problem that they're a little outclassed by the ARs in terms of like convenience, right? Because they have those really long reload times. So having something that kind of takes advantage of the ammo capacity that an LMG has, I think is kind of cool, because you can just sit there and really keep things coming from you for a long time. And then the last card here we have is Belligerent. Gain a stacking 5% increase to damage each time a horde is called, up to 5 stacks. All stacks are removed upon receiving damage from the Ridden. I mean, that's kind of interesting. It's kind of like, it's a lot like Jim, where he loses all of his stacks anytime he gets hit. It's just that with Jim, it's like you can just kill another Ridden. Taking on another horde's kind of a big deal. Like to get an extra 5% on Jim, that's like 2 Ridden. Boom, boom, you're done. And you got the same exact stack that Belligerent would require an entire horde for. So I'm interested to see how Belligerent turns out. I mean, it almost feels exclusively like a sniper card right now, because you're going to take damage if you're up close at all. So I'm curious to see how people feel about Belligerent as time goes on and how people make it work. But one thing to keep in mind here is reading this, it says damage, right? So it doesn't really specify bullet damage. It doesn't specify explosive damage, yada, yada, yada. And reason why I think that's important, assuming that this is how the card works, is glass cannon is just like a boom, big chunk of 25% damage, right? So I wonder if Belligerent's kind of living in the same realm there, if Belligerent is its own thing, or if it's kind of in the same realm as glass cannon. Kind of curious where Belligerent sits. I don't actually know. Now let's move on to the next thing here. We have ourselves the Iron Claws. Fast slashes apply bleed damage and increase melee attack speed. Oh, really? Fast slash. So does this mean like the more you're slashing, the faster you'll go? Is it kind of like built in? So like, I know I told you I work at Turtle Rock now, but I only started like last week, so I haven't had a lot of chance to really test all these things really, really deeply. So a lot of this is going to be new for me, just as it is for you guys, right? So interesting. Do you attack faster the more you slash with these? I'm not sure. On that note, though, they cause bleed, right? So if you can cause bleed with these, right? I mean, I guess it's not even really saying they're yours to use, but assuming they are, then presumably Mr. Dude in the top right-hand corner here could also cause you to bleed, which would be very scary. So I guess we'll see what that's all about. Interesting. And then what's the next one we had here? There was also, oh yeah, there was this really cool art here, which this looks like a great desktop background, frankly. I love this. This is so cool. But then if we go one more up here, we have 2 more new cards coming. And it said, food still exists post-apocalypse, and the rumor has it that it grants some pretty neat buffs. Food scavenger experimental stimulants round out our new upcoming deck cards. Let's read what these do. Adds a moderate amount of food items to the world. Food items restore an additional 5 health. So, I mean, what you're getting out of this is that there's just a whole new thing coming in, and it's food. And food does more than just healing. I guess I could probably tell you that. Food is not just healing. There's more going on with food than just gain some HP. And that's really all I'll say about it. And I'm curious to see what everybody thinks about it. And then experimental stimulants. Activate your support slot to create a 10-meter area that gives teammates that enter it 15% increased damage and 25% reload speed. Activation costs 20 rifle ammo. Disables your support slot. This could be really strong if a team uses it correctly. I mean, 15% damage is nothing to scoff at, right? I don't know how long the effect lasts. Does it say? Yeah, I don't know how long the effect lasts, and I also don't know how long the cooldown is. But if you could have a bunch of people stacking this all at the same time, you could get some really disgusting damage. Now, it does come at the cost of a support slot, so you can't really like pain pill yourself if you'd ever need to. So that is pretty steep. But that's a lot of damage that you could really stack up together if it works out in a really advantageous way to stack it. I don't know, man. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to really look at a lot of these things, so I'm really curious to see how this one turns out as well. This could be really, really good, though. Oh, but they haven't talked about Dan yet at all, have they? I wonder if anything's going to be talked about with Dan and what Dan's capable of doing. Well, if there is, I'm sure we'll find out about it. And again, it's only about 2 weeks until this comes out, so I'm really excited to play it, and I hope you guys are too. And then with that, thank you guys so much for being here. And I would say that we stream just about every single night, but that has not been going on ever since I started working there. So I will see you guys next time I see you. Maybe it'll be a stream, maybe it'll be a video, but again, I'm excited, and I hope to see you guys soon.